up in the club. That nigga shot the club up, nigga. And then, nigga trying to send him some Jordans and some weed and trying to play funny. Bow! He shot niggas, but yo, that nigga busts his guns. So I believe him.
I think you should just stay in your place, brother. You shouldn't even speak on that type of lifestyle because you're not living that type of.
What started as a simple tweet about walking away from the streets has now spiraled into something serious, something that could leave a goofy rapper laid out. Word is, Pooh Shiesty allegedly sent his goons at Blueface. And when rappers with real street ties and actual gang connections start going at each other's necks, things can turn deadly real fast. We ain't talking about two dudes just rapping the image. These are guys who really live that life. And when real street figures with nothing but crash dummies behind them start beefing on social media, history shows us it almost never stays online. So let's break down how this whole situation spun completely out of control and why industry insiders are whispering that this beef could end in bloodshed. To understand how we even got here, we gotta rewind back to the beginning, to 21 Savage and his controversial F the Streets movement that sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community. At the time, 21 was on his promo run for his latest album when he decided to tweet those 3 words that kicked off a chain reaction across hip-hop. But this wasn't just some random moment of clarity from a rapper. This was calculated. This was business. The Atlanta rapper was trying to get the city's biggest names to squash their beefs, especially the whole Young Thug and Gunna situation that had Atlanta divided. And here's where things start to expose how fake the industry really is. The same labels, media outlets, and insiders who tried to blackball Gunna, calling him a rat and pushing that snitch narrative, were suddenly trying to work with him again. Why the switch up? Simple. They saw Bro doing crazy numbers without him, millions of streams on his own, and once that happened, everybody wanted a piece. 21 Savage knew exactly what he was doing. He positioned himself as the peacemaker and the voice of reason, all while promoting his album and setting the stage for a potential Gunna collaboration that could bring in serious money. It was a smart business move wrapped in street wisdom, and it worked because everybody was talking about 21 Savage right when his album dropped. That's when Pooh Shiesty decided to jump on the wave and follow 21's lead. The Memphis rapper, known as the CEO of one of the most dangerous gangs in his city, Choppa Gang, with over 70 members, posted on his Instagram story saying, "F the streets too." And for someone like Pooh Shiesty to say that, it shocked a lot of people. This is a dude who built his entire career and reputation off the streets of Memphis, one of the most violent cities in America. He didn't just rap about gang life, he lived it, led it, and made money from it. His whole brand was being that authentic street figure fans believed was really him. So when he posted F the Streets, it sent shockwaves through his own camp and left his fan base confused. But Blueface wasn't feeling it at all. The California rapper saw right through what was happening and started calling these dudes out, saying they were fake, trendy, and following a wave like sheep. He took it straight to social media, accusing them of being hypocritical.
I think you should just stay in your place, brother. You shouldn't even speak on that type of lifestyle because you're not living that type of life.
Blueface knew most of these dudes screaming F the streets were the same ones who used street credibility to build their whole careers and fan bases. He saw right through the bullshit and wasn't scared to call it out. And honestly, Blueface had a point. How you spend years rapping about being in the streets, leading gangs, moving weight, handling business, then suddenly flip and say F the streets just because it's the wave? It looked like a lot of these rappers were just repeating whatever 21 Savage said without thinking about how it made them look to their own people. At first, Pooh Shiesty ignored Blueface's disses completely. No response, no acknowledgement. He just kept posting like nothing happened. But if you were really paying attention, you could tell something was brewing under the surface. Soon after, Pooh started posting stories playing Call of Duty with NLE Choppa. And anyone who knows the situation knows NLE Choppa and Blueface got real problems. That beef goes way back and involves actual street politics, not just music. So when Pooh Shiesty started publicly showing love to NLE Choppa, posting them gaming together and chopping it up, Blueface knew exactly what time it was. That was Pooh picking sides, and it damn sure wasn't Blueface's. Those gaming sessions weren't just two rappers having fun. They were calculated moves. In the streets, who you associate with sends messages, and Pooh Shiesty was sending a loud one that he was aligned with Blueface's enemies. That's how street politics work. You don't always have to say something directly. Sometimes your actions say everything for you. Things stayed quiet for a few weeks after that, with both sides seeming to move on. Fans thought maybe this would blow over like most social media beefs. But then everything changed. Pooh Shiesty posted another Instagram story that completely flipped the script and reignited the situation. This time, instead of saying F the streets, he posted I am the streets, basically taking back everything he said weeks earlier and doubling down on his street identity. The post came with hard imagery and music that reinforced his gangster persona, making it clear he wasn't backing down from who he claimed to be. That move told everybody one of two things. Either Pooh was feeling serious pressure from his crew for looking soft, or he was setting up something bigger. When you're the head of the gang with 70 members and start talking about leaving the streets, that creates problems inside your own organization. Your people don't want to hear about going legit while they're still risking their freedom. So posting I am the streets was Pooh Shiesty reasserting his position. It was damage control within Chopper Gang and a warning to his enemies that he was still that same dangerous dude. But to outsiders, it made him look indecisive, like he was flip-flopping. And Blueface caught it immediately. He took it straight to Twitter and posted, "Nah, dawg, we seen what you said already. The streets traumatized, buddy." That tweet was disrespect on multiple levels. Blueface was calling Pooh Shiesty out for being wishy-washy and not standing on his words. And the word traumatized cut especially deep, implying Pooh was so shook by the streets that he didn't even know where he stood. For someone who claims to be a gang leader and built his image on fearlessness, that kind of disrespect hits hard. It questions his mental state, leadership, and authenticity all at once. The tweet went viral instantly. Fans and rappers jumped in, some saying Blueface was right, others saying he was doing too much. But what most people missed was this wasn't just rap beef anymore. This was real street politics playing out in real time on social media.
That tweet also proved Blueface had been watching everything Pooh Shiesty was doing. He remembered the original F the Streets post. He saw the switch to I am the streets, and he called that contradiction out in public. That level of attention and that public call-out meant Pooh Shiesty couldn't just brush it off like he did the earlier disses. And this is where things get really dangerous. Pooh Shiesty still hasn't responded publicly to Blueface's tweet, but anybody who understands street politics knows silence doesn't mean nothing's happening. Most of the time, it means the opposite. When real street dudes stop talking and start moving quiet, that's when alarms should go off. Pooh ain't just some rapper pretending to be gangster for the cameras like half the industry. This man actually runs Chopper Gang in Memphis, one of the most violent cities in America, where the murder rate stays near the top nationally. We're talking about an organization with over 70 members who are known for handling business when they feel disrespected. These ain't studio gangsters. These are real street soldiers who've put in work and earned their stripes. So for Blueface to call their leader traumatized on a public platform with millions of eyes on it, that's the kind of disrespect that usually gets handled with more than just words. In street culture, reputation is everything. And when someone publicly questions your mental state and leadership, letting that slide makes you look weak, especially to your own people. What makes this even more volatile is that both sides have real street credibility and real connections. Blueface might be from California, but he's tapped in with serious people, and he's never been the type to walk back what he says. He's shown again and again that he'll stand on his words, no matter the consequences. Meanwhile, Pooh Shiesty has an entire army behind him in Memphis, and they don't play when it comes to protecting their reputation or their leader's name. Industry insiders close to both camps are already saying there's movement happening behind the scenes. Word on the street is there might be money on Blueface's head, nothing confirmed and everything being kept quiet. But when gang leaders feel disrespected on social media, situations like this tend to jump fast from online beef to real-life consequences. The scary part is how familiar this all looks. We've seen too many times how social media disrespect between rappers with real street ties ends in violence and sometimes death. The difference here is this isn't regular rap beef. Both Pooh Shiesty and Blueface have actual organizations behind them that are willing to move when their leader feels disrespected. What started as 21 Savage promoting his album and encouraging rappers to leave the streets alone has now turned into two real street figures being at odds. The irony is crazy. A movement meant to reduce violence may have sparked even more of it. Pooh Shiesty going from F the streets to I am the streets shows how much pressure he was probably facing internally. When you're the head of a gang and start talking about leaving that life, your crew can see it as weakness or abandonment. Your people don't want to hear about going legit while they're still risking everything. So Pooh had to flip back to protect his position and keep his organization solid. But that flip gave Blueface the ammo to question his authenticity. And now neither side can really back down without losing face. Blueface can't walk it back without looking weak to his fans and his people. And Pooh Shiesty can't let that disrespect slide without undermining his authority in Choppa Gang. This is exactly how tragedies start in hip-hop. Once pride and street reputation get involved, logic usually disappears. We've seen it too many times how talented young men throwing everything away over social media disrespect. As this situation keeps developing, fans and industry watchers are hoping it doesn't turn violent. But the reality is, when real street figures with real gangs behind them go at each other publicly, the odds of it staying online are slim. History shows these situations rarely de-escalate on their own. The saddest part, both of these dudes have talent and real potential. Pooh Shiesty has been building a solid career with hit records and a growing fan base. Blueface knows how to create viral moments and stay relevant. But once pride and street politics take over, all of that can disappear in an instant. What we're watching play out is exactly why 21 Savage said F the streets in the first place. This mentality leads to destruction. The streets don't love nobody back. They don't care about rap careers, record deals, or potential. All they care about is respect and retaliation, and that cycle never ends well. All we can do now is watch and hope both sides realize they've got too much to lose. Because if this keeps escalating, we might be in for a dangerous ride.